Hello. Hello, everyone. Hi, sweetie.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear
I
you.
can hear you. Yeah.
I can
Hi,
hear you,
Leah.
Toph.
Hi, Shirley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shirley.
Hi. I got
did you
it.
look? Okay, but did
Hello?
you look at the
No,
meeting?
you know
Did
what?
get the-
Usually it comes in the early morning, and it
Yeah.
came in really around 2 o'clock last night.
Oh, okay.
So I got it.
Okay,
Yay!
great. Yay! Woo!
Yay! Hi, everyone.
Texas.
Hi.
Everyone. Hi, everyone. Lynn, can you hear
Hi,
me?
so how
Just to
you
make
get
this.
Tofik, I hear
to
you in my nightmares, Tofik. I hear you all the
Hi,
time.
hi, Leah.
Hi there. How you doing, Shirley?
I'm doing better than I was the last time we talked.
Yeah, I'm giving you a few.
I am so
I'm gonna
glad.
give you a few minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
It sounds like some things worked out with you and Jim.
Yeah, no, we're gonna let her start by discussing that, then we'll go into the thing that we talked about.
Okay. All right. I won't
Okay,
jump.
we wanna-
I won't jump the gun.
It's good to see everyone.
It is. It's really good.
Shirley, hello.
Tofi, what?
You hear me?
Hi, Leah.
Now I can hear you.
Everybody hears you, Tofik.
Okay, so let's start. Go ahead, baby.
Well, or I'm gonna wait for a few. Well, we have Lorena coming. We have well, I don't know if the others will come. So you know what? I think we'll start. We're gonna start not with the full meeting. Why can't I see the pictures of everybody? I like to look at people's faces.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
everyone-
Everyone.
There's Leah. I don't see. I want to see Shirley. Where is
I'm
Shirley?
right here.
Yeah, okay,
You
fine, but I
better-
can't see you all together. Okay, forget it. I don't
Okay,
care.
well, I will fix it. Okay, can you just?
you can
I will fix it.
like I can see all of you.
Pay-
Yeah.
You must pay the grief.
What is he
You do it. You just have to fix something.
Hello,
I
she.
absolutely.
Lorena is here.
I'm a
Okay,
trouble.
okay,
I'm
let
a
her
real
come. Let her
troubleshooter,
come.
Lynn. I'm a real troubleshooter. Like, I should get a job at a tech company. Yeah, you got a
You
problem.
have too many jobs to begin with. Let's forget the
I know.
cafe.
Hello, Lastia.
Hi there, Lucita. Good to see you.
Okay.
Hola.
I don't see anybody.
I see you,
If you don't
Lynn.
see anyone, it's because you're not hitting the right icon.
I hear everybody.
I can see you with your Nautica shirt on.
Yeah,
I
I
see
have.
you.
I can see you. I hear you. Shirley. I like it when I can see everybody on the screen together.
yeah,
But I don't see
right.
that.
I
don't
can
see
see
that.
everybody because make sure that you hit the viewfinder that makes it big.
Okay, whatever. Let's just listen.
Oh,
Yeah, so you use
I'm not. I can't do
There
technical.
should be a little square at the top next to the X. If you hit that, that should make it bigger and you'll see everybody.
it's called gallery.
okay. Lynn.
Uh-huh.
Good now. Everyone see.
Now.
I can see Lynn. I can see Shirley. I can see.
Okay.
Leah. And here is Lasita. Hello.
Hi,
It's 1,
Lucita.
2, 3, 4, 5. I see
Please,
5 people, including myself.
That's all we don't expect any. Who knows who commenting?
Work. I am the moderator here. I'm not showing up. Everyone here and
Yes.
work, right?
Yes.
Make this.
Okay. Okay. So now we're gonna start.
Go ahead.
Today we're gonna start with something that not with our topic, but I know that everyone, because people were contacting me to find out the story of Shirley's brother and how she's progressing. So Shirley is going to give us a little bit of a progress, like another 5 minutes or so, whatever, however you can condense it. Don't, I'm not limiting you.
I'm not gonna
And
wanna-
Okay, Shirley's going to talk a little bit about what's going on with her brother, which I think is important because the whole idea of this is to care about each other, and we did, and people were really interested in what was going on. Okay, go ahead, Shirley.
Well, first of all, thank all of you for your really good thoughts and caring. It meant so much to me when Lynn told me that people were asking about it. It got worse before it got better.
That's okay.
I'm just going to condense this. And then it was like in a snap of a finger, he just became himself again.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that he was taking medication that overdosing on probably what is it called? Vicodin.
Oh, that's heavy stuff.
Yeah,
What-
yeah,
what is
no
that?
kidding. I think he,
What is it called?
you know, I don't go out to his house. and-
Vicodin.
Vicodin. And instead of taking one or a half of one, I think he was taking 3 and 4 at a time.
Wow.
And my brother, like me, has been sober for a long time. And to start it, you know, putting this stuff into his body because he's in pain. He's with, do y'all know Kaiser?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, okay. He's been on Kaiser since he came out here. And, you know, Medicare Kaiser is his primary. And I'll have to tell you, I've been very impressed up until this. He has made so many calls reaching out for help with doctors in Kaiser, and he still has not talked to a doctor.
I can't believe this.
It's unbelievable.
Terrible.
He
Really
is in pain.
Mm.
And you know, whatever else was going on, but he's in pain. He fell. That's when I guess all this started. And he just started chugging pills. And
Where did you get them
obviously
from?
it turned him upside down. He has made multiple calls this has been going on for about a month. And he does not even get to see an orthopedic surgeon. He has a phone meeting at 5 o'clock tomorrow night. That just knocks
Where was
me
he
out.
getting the drugs from, Shirley?
What, hon?
Where was he getting the drugs from?
I have no idea. I don't. He could have been stashing them from, he's had 2 hip replacements.
Oh, so that could be
So,
it.
you know, he may have just been holding on to them. But he has been, now we're going into for 2 weeks. He's been significantly better. He actually had dinner with us last night.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
Look at
Frank,
that.
Frank, you know, works on boats and yachts. And one of his very first customer lives in Naples here in Long Beach. And he went out fishing and caught fresh yellowtail tuna and gave Frank a big chunk of it. And I asked Jim if he would like to have dinner with us last night, and he did.
Oh,
Oh, that's lovely. So he's
He ate.
socializing and everything.
progress.
That's all I can say. I mean, I've been there
That's
for
great.
him. He is better. I don't know if this, you know, I don't know where this will end up, but I thank you all so much for letting me talk to you about it.
Oh, 100, that's what we're here for.
Well, and it really isn't
Talking
something
about
I
it.
wanted to talk to people that know him. That's not fair to him.
Yeah,
Um,
but you know, thank
so
you
this
for
was-
trusting us.
That's
okay?
why we're here.
Yeah, this is a group I can trust, and nobody is gonna go gossiping or anything. And it's like the light switch, and he just like that.
Okay.
So we've
Okay.
had over a week of him
What I
being,
don't do, Shirley, even in town, I don't gossip. I don't like gossip. I hate it.
oh,
With
I
us,
know.
with us,
Well,
it's concern.
Unless
not
it's
gossip.
true gossip, like anything to do with Donald Trump or Donald Trump
Okay,
Jr.
no,
No,
don't
that's
listen
not
to
gossip,
that.
is it? I mean, that's talking the truth.
I
But
don't want politics. I don't want anything like that. Okay.
I just had to say that.
Okay, good.
No, that's
know
why
you
I
did
I wanted to
perfect.
protect him.
Let me explain something to you, Miss Shirley.
Yes.
A meeting would never be a meeting without you calling me first to tell me that Tofi never sent you the email so that I could resend what he sent. That would be the first thing. And you make me laugh, and I need that. So I'm really happy. Okay, so now we have her story. We're all still
So
praying.
thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your care and concern.
What?
And, you know, it's what it is, one day at a time. One day
Shirley,
at a time.
Exactly.
He has, after all
Shirley.
these weeks, he has a phone appointment with an orthopedic surgeon tomorrow at 5
What a way to
o'clock.
have to live like that, to
I
wait
just
all
can't
that
believe that.
time.
Shirley, we
Yes.
are family, and
That's
Lynn
good
always
news
says
anyway.
that. So no need for thanks. Go ahead.
I love each and every one of you.
And we love you, so.
I don't have, I have lots of acquaintances, but I don't have very many people that I reveal all of my shit to. Pardon
Right.
me. And this is just a perfect group for me.
That is a perfect word. That's a perfect word for it.
Love you.
I love
Turkey
Tofi, I
and
love
caring.
Lynn, and I
I
love
love them.
all of you. I
love
want to
Leah,
move to Wales.
everyone. Yoo-hoo! Go ahead, boss.
At least
Start my
translate it so
boss.
I can
Allah
Take,
Akbar!
Oh, God, here we go. Here they
so
go.
Okay.
I
Okay,
want to share one
okay.
more thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Because you know that I am a Buddhist. I
Yes.
practice the Tibetan Buddhism, have for many, many years. And I've been very concerned about His Holiness the Dalai Lama because of the ravaging of India.
You got this
And
all.
I got a picture of him a couple of days ago getting his shot.
Yeah, we saw
He
it.
got
Oh,
vaccinated, and it was just like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We need
Sue.
him.
That's right. We need any religious leader that's worth something.
Well, you know what worked for
Yeah.
me was when
Did you read the book? Shirley, did you read the book? Sorry. Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama have a conversation.
oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a book, and
Yes.
they meet together, and this reporter follows them around, and it really gets into intimate kind of they're joking.
He has
and
an
they're
amazing relationship with Desmond Tutu, or did. Is
serious
Desmond
and
Tutu
everything.
still alive?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
They're
Yeah.
all
I
still-
didn't think so. How do you like that?
Yeah, I kind of thought maybe he was gone.
Me
I
too.
don't think unless it's new, Desmond Tutu was alive.
Well,
Someone
Okay, I'll Google later.
yeah, Google it. Okay.
Okay,
Anyway, I was so happy to see that. It was like showing everyone, look, even the Dalai Lama is getting a vaccination. So stop this.
Okay. I want to bring up something that doesn't have to do with today's topic either. It's good to stay off topic at times. And this weekend, Tofik and I went to Connecticut to clean out Ira's clothes because Francis couldn't do it alone. And for that entire week, it shows you that you have to face your fears. For that entire week, that's all I could think of is how am I going to react? What if I cry? I don't want to cry in front of her. I don't want to carry on. But tears are a good thing. But it was nothing like that. It was like sort of a catharsis for me going there. First of all, helping her and showing her, you know, that we cared enough to come because she didn't have the strength to do it herself. And I cannot even begin to tell you how Mr. Ira Allen Rosen had stuff from high school, which is still now in the public garbage of Connecticut, and how he had new clothes with tags. It was like, yeah, he stole it. Tofik took this. But the reason I brought it up is that I was so afraid to face the fear of doing this. And I was ready to do it right away because I thought it'd be easier if we did it right away, but Frances wasn't. She had to go away. She had to face it. But she was so thankful to have us there, especially, this is why I started talking, especially about that man down there below named Mr. Esadicki. Mr. Esadicki did so much for her. He did gardening. Meanwhile, she has a son who's very capable of gardening, but you know how kids are. I mean, he's 40-something years old. He doesn't seem to find the time, but he's busy. He has a life. He has a girlfriend. He has kids. So it's understandable. And, but being there and being able to help her and feeling his spirit, because Leah and I always talk about spirit, feeling his spirit was just the most amazing thing for me. It it wasn't even a sad thing. We talked about him freely. I told some funny stories. I was able to really let loose and to cheer her up a little. I know she's still sad, and I know because of how she was, but it was so much better having us there to get this done. Something that I was so afraid of got done, and that's my whole point. Just like what Shirley said with her brother, facing what you have to face, and even if you sound mean, being the caregiver that you have to be. I did it, and it was not a point of anything. She was very appreciative. She was just absolutely wonderful. But she was so thankful that she didn't have to do it alone.
Thank you for doing that for her.
Yeah.
Well, oh, please. I do that for strangers, so of course I would
I
do
know,
it.
but it's a wonderful thing to do for anybody.
And what
it's a
made it
hard-
more on. Okay. What made it my laptop, my tablet keeps falling.
Oh.
What made it even what made it even more wonderful is that we got a pile of clothing that we could give to the homeless.
Good.
So they will benefit, right, exactly. They will benefit from Ira's death, and his memory will linger on.
Yeah, and some of them even have tags on. They're brand new.
Unbelievable. And even the ones that weren't brand new. Of course, all
I
the
know.
stores.
I
all
mean,
the
it's
stores-
fantastic. I love.
Yeah.
I give clothes if they're any good. Give them.
Yeah, Tofi took home some stuff to give too. But the point is that what made it wonderful is that her grandsons, who absolutely adored him, they're like 13, 15, whatever. They took Yankee shirts, Met shirts, and sports.
Oh,
I mean, just to, because they loved him.
Can you imagine my late
Take
brother?
something, Lynn. What did you take to remember him by?
I'm saying, Leah, you can't imagine that brother Ira, may he rich,
Oh,
had almost more than 100 top, short, a lot of stuff. You can imagine how much, and
holy moly.
many,
Wow.
many,
he was a
many,
hoarder.
many clothes are still brand new with the tickets. And uh, I really love and respect Francis, his ex apartment. Anyway, she said, give everything to the homeless. We took
Everything left. She had given away a whole bunch of stuff.
and we gathered 3 big bags for the homeless.
Wow, that's marvelous.
And one small bag, Frank insisted that I take some. So I take some, and among those things there were many, especially shorts on top. They're brand new, so it's not my side. But I said I will give them to people. Yeah, people.
People who can use them,
Yeah, I mean, many people in 86th Street here in our surrounding area. Some people are poor, some people can't buy. So I got all this because of those people, and I will give them tomorrow. So I say just the feeling, and I'm sure this all given will be added to his rewards there where he lives now. So that's it. It's a kind, and all these thanks to this lady in front of you. I love you more, my baby.
Oh,
and I love you for the way you helped her. He cleaned her. God,
But
Thank
don't
you.
take me, okay? I love it.
he did so much for her that she had nobody to do it. You know what I mean? She had somebody professionally coming in July 1st, but it was still, there were weeds all over the place. So he did some job. Okay, now we're going to turn the meeting over to Miss Leah, who will talk to us about today's, don't give me that look, about today. That's why we love you. About today's topic. Go ahead, hit it, Leah.
hit it, Leah.
Yes, I had one chosen, and I thought, well, what about that one? And I thought, what about that one? And,
About the stranger, dear, stranger.
I know it's about strangers that had a positive, either a happy ending or they brought you happiness or something, that's it kind of doesn't leave you like thinking that was a bad stranger who just stole my money and I have no money now. Not that stranger. Which happened when I first went to Boston with my girlfriend when I was 18, and this lovely woman came and said, "You girls look like you're new in town. Let me help you." And she put her arms around us, and she was a little, really beautiful woman. And we thought, "Oh, she's so nice. I'll walk you down here." And she did. She said, "No, you just go that way. You'll get to Harvard Square." And so we did. And then the second she was gone, I realized, we both realized she'd taken both of our wallets.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
We had no money. We were in Boston.
Oh my God.
And that one weren't cool. But anyway, that's not the kind of thing I said we were talking
No,
about.
that's not a happy. Well, anybody can tell any story that they want. It doesn't have to be a
Yeah,
happy
well,
ending.
but I mean, it had a happy ending is because we figured stuff out. She borrowed some money from an auntie who lived up in Boston area, and I don't think the auntie was thrilled with us. But anyway, there you go. But here's a story. Okay, this is the one I was going to tell you. When I was 8 months pregnant with Rachel, and she's a 33-year-old young woman now. Okay, so this is a while ago. I was actually thin in those days, but pregnancy and any kind of hormonal thing, anything that does something to my hormones, I can become big quickly. It could be like a doctor gives me medicine, it does something to my hormones, and I just go. And then so I can change, from a size 10 to a size 18 in a matter of 2 months, and then if it carries on, more. It's ridiculous. Okay, but that's my body. Thank you, body. I like you.
Yes.
Anyway, even if you do give me troubles. But okay, so pregnancy, the immediate 2 weeks of being pregnant, I'll just tell you this. The immediate 2 weeks of being pregnant with Rachel, I was walking down the street and only 2 weeks, okay? I hardly had time to implant. I mean, it was just 2.5 weeks or something. And this kind of rough sleeper on the road looked at me and he said, "Ah, I see you're pregnant." I said, "What?" I didn't even know I was pregnant. And I said, I'm not pregnant." He said, "Oh, you're pregnant." I said, "How do you know?" He says, "It's the bloom." So whatever it is, I mean, some people can get away with hiding their pregnancy the whole time. I think I show it from the moment there's an implantation. By this time, we were quite poor at that point. Ian went to Cambridge for a very poorly paid research job in the Cambridge laboratories there, which were, really internationally famous and all that. But Britain is not renowned for treating its scientists marvelously. And and especially not, at that point he was a lower rank and he was 24, okay, or something like that. And I was old, 29. I'm 5 years older than he is. So anyway, he was a kid. I was a cradle robber. And so I became big. And because I was poor, we lived in a tent for 8 weeks because we couldn't afford any place. And we lived in a tent even when I was that pregnant. I'd go to the laundry room at night because I was so uncomfortable and just sit there on the washing machines. But eventually we found a cheaper place to live, and so we were living in this small place. And my child was with me. My other child, my trans daughter was with me, and he was like 7, something like that at the time. And so, long story short, I got really big, okay? And I had one outfit. It was a pair, I got it from a secondhand shop, a pair of very bright pink dungarees. Okay. So there I am, like a beached whale that's pink, with this big belly, really big, and these bright pink dungarees. And there I am, a person who didn't feel like staying inside the house. So I walked all over the place. I walked into the town center of Cambridge. I was actually working on my master's even then, but I didn't, I sort of took some time off a bit because in the last couple of months I was, didn't feel like it. And I just sort of walk around town center. I go to public library. I just walked around all the commons. I don't know, you don't know if you know Cambridge, but they have these big green commons between the different colleges. There's also, parks and stuff. And so I just walked all over the place. I think I kind of maybe stood out because I was so big and pink. And I don't know, because one day I went to the town library, 8 months pregnant in my little pink dungarees, which is all I ever wore. And I was sitting there reading some poetry, minding my own business. And suddenly this stranger came up to me. He had long, sort of brown hair, kind of curly brown hair. I was like 29 and he was probably like 35. You know how you know that at that age? I wouldn't know now, but that's what he was a bit older than I. And it's came over to me holding a banana. He had this bright yellow banana in his hand. And he said, I have to tell you, I have been watching you week after week walking around the town. And I'm not kidding you. You are a queen.
Oh,
You are a queen. And there is something that is just shining and totally royal about you. And I wish and humbly, and he went on one knee and on one knee in the library, surrounded by people. He went on one knee and he said, I hope you will accept this banana as a tribute,
oh, oh,
as a tribute to your qualities, which
oh.
I so much admire. And I said, thank you. This is a marvelous, kind thing that you've done. And I wish you a very good life. I also thought maybe I want to sort of extricate myself from the situation a bit. So I said, I really wish you a good life and a happy life. And I appreciate your generosity and you know, kind comments. So good luck to you. But I have to tell you something. I'm busy researching something, and I must finish this now. So I do have to get back to it. But bless you. So I went back to my book with the banana in my hand.
Oh, oh.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's a beautiful story.
It was so funny. I mean, the reason why it was positive because first of all, he wasn't a weirdo who was sort of being weird. He really just was doing that. And I assume that he saw me still walking around for the remainder of and then after, he must have been there. I didn't really notice him or what he looked like that much, except for the hair. And lots of people have longish brown hair. So I didn't know, try to avoid him, but I never did see him again. Never got any more bananas.
Leah,
Yeah,
Hey, was it a good banana?
it was a nice fresh and it looked totally edible to me. So I ate it,
Oh,
you know.
that's
But
a wonderful
I
story.
was very touched by it actually, because I was new in town, a foreigner, and it was just nice. I kind of kept funny thing, just one little thing is that when you're pregnant, some people anyway, at least when I was pregnant, maybe because of my strange pink dungarees and big belly and looking like a great big pink peach whale, even if I was walking. Um,
Leah,
people would come up
listen,
to me.
Leah, I'm not
Lots
going
of
to ask
strangers
you
came
to,
up to me.
Leah, just be what you are is already wonderful. And being a man, Leah a man, oh my God, all what you said, just, I will say two words, you are just a wonderful mom and human being. That's it.
That she
You are
is.
a sweetheart.
Leah, go ahead,
That she
Leah.
is.
You're a sweetheart. Thank you. That's very kind.
From the
Uh,
I'm
heart.
never going to see a pair of pink dungarees again without thinking of you.
Why not?
Why
They
not?
were
I love it.
they were worn to death, I'll tell you, because that's all I had.
Well, that's what, so you do what you have to do. Believe me, I've
Yep.
been down to list.
Yeah, yeah.
Ladies,
Okay,
ladies,
my
can we,
story.
can we listen to our sister,
Yeah,
Latia?
I think she's
She's
finished.
quite, yeah. Hi,
Are you,
Latia.
oh God, are you finished, Leah?
Yeah. I was just, I mean, I don't even add that for some reason, I actually attracted a lot of strangers during that period
Go to the pink
who would
pin.
tell me their life stories, old men, older women. People would stop me on the street. It was just weird. Not to give me,
It's
not
not
in such
weird.
a dramatic way,
But you have
but
a
I
certain
just,
glow, you know. When you have a glow, people stop you.
yeah, I think it just looked kind of approachable me. I mean, I looked approachable or something.
Okay, thank you, Leah.
It's
Okay, I'm
beautiful.
gonna, isn't it? I'm gonna go next because my story is short, sweet, and it was a very interesting ending. I was going to a volunteer project. It had to be about 15 years ago, and it was the project was open. They needed somebody to lead the project because it was in an HIV center, and nobody wanted to go. At that time, AIDS was still a big deal, and people were, they were afraid. So, being the crazy person I am, I didn't think about it. How's this going to affect me? Blah blah blah. But that's not it. I did it for weeks, and I loved it. It was a very short project. It was like 10 weeks, and that's it. It was the 10th week, and there was a guy who came in. He stood by himself. Most people sat together because they knew each other because it was a recurring project. And the a gentleman was sitting there by himself. So I said it was a soup kitchen. Let me begin to tell you. We served them lunch, then we left. It was no big deal. It wasn't like it was hard work. And I just had to make sure that everybody did the job that they had to do. They had looked for a team leader for months, but they couldn't find one because people did not want to walk into an HIV center. First of all, let me tell you that it was in the most beautiful building in Manhattan. It's called the Tisch Building and has gallery of artwork all over the place. This gentleman, his name was Emmanuel. He was an artist who couldn't afford to live on what he made. So, and then when HIV hit him, he really struggled. So I guess he was on government subsidies and all that other stuff. Well, in any case, I started talking to him, and I fell in love with one of his art portraits. It was just so beautiful. And I said, I have an idea. And he said, what would it be? I said, why can't we get one of your portraits up on the wall? Since you're, I said, I love this. This is better than some of the other stuff that's on the wall. And I said, I have an idea how we can do this. And he said to me, how? And being the way I am, bold, I didn't even think about it before I said it. I wrote a poem, and it was something, I don't remember the title, to have HIV like me. And it talked about his life and his sadness, etc. Well, I gave it to the person who was in charge of not in charge of the project from New York Cares, but who was in charge of the building. I said, this should be hanging up because it's absolutely beautiful. Next time he came back, Manny wasn't there. I didn't see any painting hanging up. But, sometimes there are certain battles you can pick. You're going to win, and others that you're going to lose. But my girlfriend went, and the project was over, so I had no reason to go there. My girlfriend went and she said, "You will never believe it." And I said, "What is that?" She said, "There's a beautiful painting from a guy named Emmanuel with a poem by you hanging
Oh.
on the wall of the Tisch building."
Oh,
Okay, and to be honest, I'll be honest, I never spoke to the guy. I never saw him again. But he obviously, other people were seeing this painting and thought it was really good, and he was commissioned for a few things. And I have no idea where he is today. That was thousands of years ago. But he touched my heart because after he told the stories to me, his art was simply the most gorgeous. And I couldn't believe that people weren't seeing this because he had HIV. I mean, it was crazy. So what it showed me is that we can't be afraid. I'm always saying I'm too bold, but we can't be afraid to take a chance, especially if it involves helping somebody else. So this stranger had an impact on me because it made me realize there were times where I felt sorry for myself, blah, 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 I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that. But I have to think of how we can help others and stop centering on ourselves. And I think that that's, after that day, I became so much even more active than I was before. And he touched my heart. Total stranger. I will never see him again. I don't know if the poem is still there. I know it was there 5 years ago, but I haven't even been to that building, and I have no reason to be in that building. But it touched my heart that somebody finally cared enough to show him that he is important, regardless of any life that he might lead. And that's the end of my story.
I love it. Lynn, that's beautiful.
wonderful
I
story.
thought this morning I had nothing. I thought this morning I had nothing to contribute because I didn't think about him till you started speaking, Leah, and then it dawned on me about Manny, which I hadn't thought of in ages. Now I don't know if Manny still goes to the center. I don't know if the center is still in operation. I'm sure it is, and it was funded by a very rich man. So it's probably still, operational. But that one time, and I'd gone there for weeks. I talked to everybody. I sat down with this table. I sat down at this table. My volunteers were reluctant to sit down because you're always told don't get too personally involved. That never stopped me from anything. They tell me don't. I'm going to do. Don't tell me don't. Just because somebody has AIDS, don't tell me not to get involved. It's disgusting. So of course I sat down at every table, I talked to people, and it made an impact on my life because it showed me that there were so many people with stories to tell that if I hadn't sat at his table that day, well, I think he was annoyed that I sat down because he really wanted to be alone. But my volunteer work was to walk around and serve. I can't just serve and walk away. I wanted to hear his story because I had a feeling he had one. And so that's the end of my story. Okay, so let's go.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I haven't thought about that in years. I don't know why I'm thinking about it now.
Why not?
Okay, let's go to Lisita. Lisita, do you have a story about a stranger that had an impact on you?
No, I didn't see that topic in advance. And now you're explaining what the topic exactly is. There was an interesting man who, I can't remember his name. He came from Egypt. And this is around 1971, I think. And one of the comments he made was that he had fallen down in his luck because at one so I don't know when I put the mute on. At one point in his life, he was now down on his luck in London. This is at the British Museum in London. So it ties in with Leah's story too. And when in his home in Egypt, there were gold taps, faucets. So his life had really changed. I think I found him annoying, but I was trying to finish a seminar paper for Hebrew University, which is where I did my degree in philosophy and international relations. And for 6 months, I would go to the British Museum and fall asleep trying to study the writings of Auguste Comte, and I couldn't buy the book.
Oh, God.
So I had to go to the library, and maybe it was moldy or whatever it was, but I kept falling asleep there. Anyway, I would get occasional interruptions from this man, and who I haven't thought of for years and years and years now, and hear about his life and how things used to be. So maybe I can't say it made a deep impact, but it's certainly in there somewhere. Yeah.
So else you wouldn't remember it from 1971.
Yeah.
It had to make an impact.
Have you ever been with him in Egypt? Many,
I'm
Have
not hearing
you
very well.
again in Egypt later on. This guy from Egypt. Have you been with him?
No, no,
Have you
He's
been to
strange,
Egypt?
Tofi.
Have you been to?
no, no, I've never been to Egypt.
No.
And I never saw him after that time in London at the British Museum.
This is fascinating.
Interesting, though. Interesting. Okay, now we're going to Miss Shirley.
Me,
Oh, is there any other Shirley there? Do you have anything?
I flashed on,
Yeah, I
I flashed, no, nobody has the name Shirley.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I learned only through probably like 25 years ago. I had an incredible encounter with Robert Downey Jr. When he was in his drug, just he could not get sober. And one day I was standing in line early in the morning to get a coffee drink before I went on the road. And I looked at him and I thought, oh my God, I think he just looked horrible. But behind me, these young girls were all going, it's Robert Downey Jr., it's Robert Downey Jr., it's Robert Downey Jr. And so when the barista handed him his drink, she said, thank you, Robert. It is Robert, isn't it? And he goes, yeah. And I slid on my keychain. I have every year, I don't know if any of you are sober, but I get a new chip every year for every year of sobriety. And I know I was 13 years sober when this happened. So it's been a long time. I'm knocking on I'm halfway through 34 years of sobriety now. But I slid my AA coin on my keychain and I said, hi, Robert, I think we have something in common. And here are all these young girls, and then me, I was in my early 50s. He just turned to me and said, oh my God, can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? And I said, of course. And so we walked out to the parking lot.
What's that?
We're a very, very popular place. The young girls were going, what's he doing talking to her? Look at her, he's with that old woman. We walked out, and Frank and I were still, there were, we got taken real bad by someone, and we lost about $100,000 when we first got married, and we got taken by a charlatan. So we were still building up from that. I'm just sidetracked. We went to a lawyer and he said, you've got three. He said, let me just tell you what happened here. You've been had. And he said, you've got three choices. You can lick your wounds and go on. you can hunt him down and kill him. um, and we, you know, of course, he said, or you could file a bankruptcy, and we were not going to file a bankruptcy. So anyway, fast forward, I've been from a low to coming back, and I know I was 13 years sober, so that's how long ago it was.
I think that's so cool.
He grabbed a hold of my shoulders out in the parking lot, and he goes, "How did you do it? I want what you have." He was a mess, an absolute mess. And I said, "Robert, oh my God." I said, "First of all, I am so blessed. I don't live in a bubble like you. I don't have paparazzi following me everywhere I go, marking every little thing I do. I'm just, I'm invisible to most of the world." And he started crying. And I said, "Why are you down here anyway?" Because he was always in rehabs up in Malibu and different places in LA, and jail, you know, he'd been in jail. And he grabbed my shoulders. He said, "I want what you have." And here I've been feeling so sorry for myself about all these money problems Frank and I were having, and and it just, this light went on all around me. And I thought, my God, this is a wealthy, famous movie star, and he wants what I have, sobriety. And I said, so I made some suggestions. I said, I'm glad you're down here, because when you're up in LA and Malibu and Studio City and Calabasas, you're like in a fishbowl. You can't get away from all the paparazzi. I don't see any paparazzi around here. I said, this is a good place for you to be. And I told him about this awesome, just hole in the wall place where I got tons of sobriety after I went through rehab. It used to be a bar, something like 50 years ago. And some of the old timers used to get drunk in that bar when the owner of the bar died. And it's right on Coast Highway in Sunset Beach. He willed it to Alcoholics Anonymous. And it's been an AA meeting ever since.
That's amazing.
And I told him about this place. It's called Thursdays. And I said, I'm just glad you're here. You're away from that. Nobody is going to be chasing you and taking photographs of you and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, what he said to me, I was kicking myself for having gone through my own bankruptcy and all this stuff. And here is this super famous man standing in front of me, grabbing my shoulders and saying, I want what you have.
How do you like
And it was like, it's not about the money. It's not about the thing. It's sobriety. It's being sober.
Okay.
And it was a beautiful, beautiful moment for me. He went back. I gave him my card, and he did fall back, and he got in big trouble again, and then he got sober. And of all the shocks, I got a Facebook from him.
Oh, how
Okay.
He said, thank you. Thank you.
Isn't that nice? That gets to you. That's beautiful.
And I mean, just somehow he remembered that. And, you know, he got married to Susan, and just his whole life is cleaned up, and he's just this amazing talent, this wonderful, wonderful man. And just to have a moment, and then a couple of years later to get this thank you from him on Facebook, I was just like,
that is beautiful.
wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Love that.
It was a big lesson for me, because I was so involved in my head about, I don't have this, I don't have that, I blew this, I blew that, blah, 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 blah. And right there in front of when he grabbed my shoulder, he said, I want what you have. It had nothing to do with material things. He wanted sobriety.
What a cool.
Isn't that a cool story?
Thank you for sharing.
And I wanted to tell you one more thing, Lynn. When my mother died, I flew my mother out here. And finally, she said she wanted to come. She was all alone in Tulsa. she had these fanatic born again Christian women who she didn't even know, who volunteered to come in, and for a long time I thought they were just amazing women, and every third week I would go back. And then one night we were out to dinner and they asked me what was the most amazing thing that ever happened in my life, and instantly I said, I think it would be the night that I was called quickly down to the Renaissance Hotel here in Long Beach to greet His Holiness.
Oh, of
And-
course. That's
And I said, he put a kata around my neck and he said, Tashi Delek, and he blessed me. I said, those two women faces went from this to when my mother decided to move out here, and it had to be her decision because I was going back every third week, and I couldn't tell her, you have to leave. You have to come out. It needed to be her decision. She called me one night sobbing. These two women who were born again Christians went to my mother's house to a woman who was dying of stage 4 inoperable lung cancer, and said, we need to tell you something. My mom sat on one side of the room and they sat on the other. They said, Judy, God has come and talked to both of us. These women weren't a couple. God came to each of us and told us, you cannot move to California because if you do, you will burn in hell.
Oh, give me
And
one.
Shirley's going to burn in hell because she follows the Dalai Lama.
Okay.
And my mother, I get a phone call at like, it was probably about 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock Tulsa time, sobbing like a little girl. She goes, are we gonna burn in hell? And I said, what? And she told me what happened. And I said, Mama, I said, you know what? If we're gonna burn in hell, we're gonna be in hell's gonna be filled with so many wonderful people. I said, what did you say to them? And she had so much spunk in her still left, knowing she was, on very borrowed time. She said, I got up, I opened the front door and I opened it. I said, you get out and don't ever darken my doorstep again. And then she called me and it was like a little girl. I said, Mama, if we're going to burn in hell, we're going to have a lot of company with us, great people, because it's
we'd all be there.
Isn't that awful?
Yeah, but you see that too many times. I don't even want to get
Yeah,
into
it's just
that.
horrible. But anyway, that's when she moved out here. And when she died, Lynn, I donated all of her clothes because both my mother and I were victims of domestic violence.
Right, I know.
And it hit me. What do I do with all of her stuff? I took it to the offices because, with domestic violence centers, you don't know where they are.
Right.
But there's a center here in Long Beach called the Endeavor House. And I donated all of my mother's clothes to women who were in shelters because of domestic violence.
Great job.
It was a really, really, I wanted to share. I'd forgotten about that until you talked about what you did.
No,
I donate twice or
help
2 or
other
3
people.
times a year. I just take things and I get rid of things and I pile them up and I take them over to the Long Beach Rescue Mission, which works for men, and they have a women's shelter separate from that.
I want to hear also from Tofi now.
Yeah, I'm going to
Tofi.
Tofi. I want to let Shirley finish first.
I'm
before I-
done. That's all.
Okay, Tofi, talk about a stranger that had an impact on you, that made you,
In fact, there are a lot. There are many. Let me just remember the last. Yeah. It happens here in Brooklyn, and he's a New Yorker, and Lynn knows him. I can just he's a laundryman who takes our coats for laundry, pick up, and bring them back. But first time, Lynn, you look, Lynn, she's touched when I mentioned his name is Gene. Okay, he a long time since I came, we used to go to a laundry shop year or four, we brought our laundry out, and we
Because we had Ira with the car. Yeah.
yeah, because I had a car, so we didn't have to call someone. No delivery anyway, and we did that one day. First time I saw this
Angel.
angel, yes. We were picking up. I picked up clothes and put in the trunk with Ira. So he came and helped me and put them, and I said, "Thank you so much." So, uh, are you working here? He said, "Yeah, I'm a worker." Wait, and I said, "Okay, thank you." And I gave him a tip, just maybe $5. He take it, and that's it. And we went back. Then I knew after 1 week that he's the owner, not the owner, the partner of his sister, and he owned that land. I didn't finish yet, say the word. So I kept having a relationship. He's so kind. He doesn't. He's Asian. I'm not racist, but he doesn't look like Chinese or. But he has so wonderful heart. How is that? Later on, when brother I passed away, so I used to go bring that flag there, and he told me one day, "You don't have to come. I can come have the delivery, pick it up," and I said, "Oh, thank you." So we started doing it. We so kind, soft. Uh, um, Sometimes, and I will say it, I'm ashamed, we couldn't pay the laundry amount till later. So
Give a-
I asked, please, can I? I said, yeah, that's fine. You can pay every end of the month. That's fine. I said, I guess this will make you feel because you're not the full owner. He said me, I am the owner. All this is mine, and my sister is partner with me, but I'm the owner. I said, okay, thank you so much. And since that time, he came with a smile. He picked up with a smile. And not only that, when we have some financial problems together with him because of what we have, okay, sometimes I was about to ask him, I paid him the monthly amount. I said, I have something to do. I'm short. Can you give me some bucks and I'll pay you with the rest of it? He said, of course. He didn't ask any question. Are they $20? And I couldn't do that. I think so bad to ask anyone, but I pay them back at the end. But he was so sweet and he never ever asked if I didn't pay him. I don't pay him maybe 2 weeks or whatever. Sometimes 2 months. He never mentioned it. It happened that one day before a long time, Lynn decided to tell me these guys. So we bought a gift card from Best Buy, okay, and we give a certain amount. And when he picked up from there, I said, "This is from Lynn and I." He said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, please. You did your work,
Christmas.
so you will accept." And he got it. But till now, this guy do the same, and he's so. By the way, he is only 24 or 25 years old,
Mm.
special angel, and we never had any problem
That
with
is
him.
good.
Yeah, Lynn can tell you maybe what. It looks like quite weird to ask someone to make a loan at the moment and ask him money. Can not guy. And I don't care if anyone says, I said, hey, you don't, it's weird and it's shame to ask someone money. And I said, I know what I'm doing. We are doing, and I pay him back every time.
What a human being.
Yes, yes, baby. Go ahead. This
Okay.
is
This is my
yeah,
side of it. He's
yeah.
a human being who turned
Oh,
out to be a friend. He
Oh,
cares. When I first got cancer, this shows you how far back we're going. When I first got cancer, he would come in and ask me how I felt. Ordinarily, he's very quiet. He stands at the door and just takes whatever Tofi can him. But he would say, "Do you need anything? Are you okay?" was a young, that's why I said this is a stranger who turned out to be better than most of my family members.
And
And
you know, yeah, baby.
there were no other words, but it touched me that you
Amazing.
brought him up because I would never have thought of him.
And when he comes,
Incredible.
Tima, when he comes picking up the laundry, first thing he come and go to the living room where we sat. How are you, man? Are you? Every time he come home, same feeling, same lovely angelic behavior till now.
To me, he's God's angel. That's all I could say about
And
him.
I want to say this.
An
I
earth
have
angel, yeah.
never ever seen and appreciated anyone in my life but Lynn and this guy. Till now, I have sisters, I have brothers, I have
And
people that did good, of course. We did good. We take a whole my life. I'm 61 and no one was like my our. That's it.
very true. You said it
Thank
perfectly,
you.
Tofik, and thanks for mentioning him.
Very perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. Let's
I really
you heard that?
appreciate that, Sophie.
Yeah, let's give you a
Love it.
comment on this.
Mhm.
Love you.
Okay, everyone, we're over our hour and or close to our hour. And what we'll try to do is we'll try to do the same thing in 2 weeks. Leah and I will talk and we will decide, if anybody else has anything they want to discuss, don't hesitate to call me. I would like you all to take a few moments when we finish or whenever your prayer time is to say a prayer for Barbara,
Yeah.
our Barbara. She's going through a very bad time now. Now, I went to Connecticut thinking that every time, after the 3 times I went to Connecticut when I was alive, I stopped at a shopping center where there was a Starbucks and we saw Al and Barbara. Then the pandemic hit, so we know the ending of that. And then Ira died. So this time I let her know weeks ago that I was coming up. And she said, okay, we're going to try. But of course, the morning that I went, the day before I went, she told me she couldn't meet us. She's going through some very heavy emotional problems, which I can't discuss because that's a private issue. But I want us to all pray. I pray for her every night because that's what we have to do. So please say a prayer for our friend Barbara. And we just have to keep praying that, sooner or later she'll rejoin us. Okay, last thought.
Lynn,
Yes.
I suggest to make this prayer now, not for later. For myself. Please raise your hand. I'll pray for Barbara.
Okay.
Um, oh my God Almighty. We beg you, we ask you to heal and make it easy for our beloved Barbara, the sweet lady, the kind lady, the big-hearted lady. Not only her, but all her family, the Mitchell family, to make it easy for her to get back to us, to our meeting, to make it easy for her to have enough strength. And we say these prayers, all of us, because we love her and we know you love us. We are family and our spirit is for Barbara getting well soon and come back to us as she did before. Amen. Thank you, God. Amen. Amen.
Perfectly said. Okay, so if anyone has any topics that they think that they want discussed or anything else, just email me, give me a quick email or Facebook me, and whatever it is, whatever you feel necessary. Like when Shirley had that thing with her brother, it's good. It's so good to just release. So don't
I want to
hesitate.
thank all of you for your support and your prayers.
Thank you.
I really mean that.
It's a wonderful thing.
I feel so close to each and every one of you, especially Lynn
I
and
feel the same way
Tofi, because I've known them longer. But I just love you all and thank you for your prayers through this.
You do more.
I'm taking it one day at a time with my
That's
brother.
exactly what you have to
Yeah,
do.
that's all you can do is go
No,
one day at a time. And for 2
Listen,
weeks now,
Hollywood
he's been,
lady, listen.
for about a week and a half, he's been one day at a time, significantly better. And I
Hollywood
love
lady,
all of you. I really
Hollywood
do.
lady,
Okay,
you do
some
more than tired for everyone. We never, not only with those people, we are sure that if you had $1 million, you will give so. And if you had $1, you will give so. Not for everyone. So your kind heart, your sweetness, and your makes you get a reward from your Dalai Lama as Buddhist. So from we don't think in religion's part or everyone is a human, and you are a beautiful, sweet, kind human. That's why you deserve all this prayer from all the family.
Hey. Does anybody else have anything they want to say, or are we finished?
That's yeah.
Okay. No.
Askia,
I think that the name of the guy in the library in London was Ahmed.
Oh,
I think I
how
remember.
about that?
But it brought it
Oh,
back. So
oh,
what's
Egyptian.
significant? That's
Ahmed is common name. And you know, Ahmed, Muhammad, Muhammad.
I do have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lynn, have you, I am getting some like, I don't know if it's Facebook or Instagram or whatever, but I am seeing things from Oshra.
Shri.
Oh, Shri. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you,
Okay. Well, what
have
do
you invited him to come to our meeting?
Every time I
Yeah.
invite him, Mondays he teaches a class. So it's,
Oh,
I
okay.
tried before. I will invite him again, but he's
Yeah.
been very busy. He's getting himself back together.
Good.
Sooner or later, we'll connect with him in one way or the other. If not here, then through Lynn's kids.
Yeah.
So
We'll do
come
it,
back
now you'll be invited.
Ahmed. I want because let's see us. Ahmed is an Egyptian man, but they also name Muhammad, Mahmoud. All these kind of first names are like root from the name of our beloved Prophet Muhammad. So
Yes.
Muhammad, Ahmed, and just for information. So
Oh, thank you.
in general,
Sweetheart, I
Interesting.
think it's amazing that came to your mind.
Yeah, you never know what's going to come to our minds when we think about it. And
That's
what we
so
think,
cool.
yeah,
what we think is insignificant is probably pretty significant. I haven't thought of that guy that I talked about in I don't know how many years.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? The brain has all this stored up there, and wow. Well, listen, I'll say goodbye to you all. I love you.
We love you.
Okay, we love you. We're ending now.
We love you.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Lisita. Bye, Tofi. Bye, Lynn. I love you.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you all.
Mwah.